Hey guys.
Shavuot
Good luck.
Sourdough.
Oh gosh. How was your lunch today in Shul? Ernie, how was it with the Rebbe?
Very nice.
Such a nice fellow, isn't he?
Yeah, he's very nice. He
Very
speaks English
pleasant.
well.
Yeah.
Um, he's he's very moderate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How were the Chazanim?
unbelievable.
The guy Boyer has a beautiful voice. What a
It's
voice.
it's Yossel Harold.
Yeah.
Go listen to I have records of Yossel Rosenblatt.
I have too, yeah.
You close your eyes. It's Yossel Rosenblatt.
But I'll tell you, I was talking with Steve Weiss today. He watched the jazz singer on YouTube. Yosla Rosenblatt is in the jazz singer.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna check it out.
yeah. I mean, this guy's voice is so similar to
Yeah.
Yossel Rosenblatt, and
What,
he
what's his name?
they had duets with Nati.
His name is Boyer. Boyer.
And the lunch was very good. It was catered by Schwartz, a lot of food.
Oh, nice.
It was very nice.
Nice.
I mean, there could have been more people at the Tish last night.
People don't like to go up. People are nervous.
I understand.
Yeah.
I was a block away, so you were there. I was I agree.
I was nervous. We're nervous going home.
Yeah.
They walk in a group.
Yeah, so did we.
Yeah.
So did we. It was cold.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Were we holding?
We're on Ayin on the base.
72.
Ganavu Machar b'Shabbos. We had this thing that if you stole and you sold it on Shabbos, you still chayiv dal v'chamisha. V'atanya potter. There's another price that says no, you don't have to pay. Amrav Chama Titanya Yid potter. When is it pottered? But Omer Lo, the ganef is trying to sell what he stole, and the buyer says, "Akoslecha te'eina b'teinasi." Pluck a fig from my tree as payment. I'm going to buy this basketball that you stole. I'm going to sell it to you for this fig. The fig, you go ahead and pluck it from my tree, and I will acquire the basketball. Now, when you pluck the fig on Shabbos, you did a malach on Shabbos. Okay, you also now stole, but you shouldn't have to pay the daled b'chamisha because you incur a penalty of the death penalty of skila. Even the chitova like kamon bedina. I mean, even the chitova like kamon bedina. Larmin lazil shalem. When the owner of the fig tree brings him to din that he sold him something that was stolen because we take it away from him because we give it back to the original owner. We don't tell the ganef, go pay for the fig that you took because given the mechay benafshuhu.
Sorry, Ernie, where are we holding?
We're on ayin amid base.
Okay.
Since he's chayiv misa for what he did on Shabbos, hanami lav machirihi. So it's not a sale. So that's why you're potter from Arba v'chamisha. El Amrav Papa, a different case. But Omer Lo, again, somebody's trying to buy a stolen object from the ganef. The guy says, Zrok nevusach lechatzeri. Throw the basketball that you stole. I mean, he doesn't know that it was stolen. He says, throw the basketball into my chatzer. V'tiknili gnevusach. And therefore, that's how I'm going to acquire the item. Now, the thing is, by transferring something from Rishus HaRabim, where he was standing, into Rishus HaYachid, he's violated Shabbos. And yet we say...
Ernie, but the buyer recognizes it's stolen goods.
No, he does not know that it's stolen goods.
Yeah.
He doesn't know.
Yes. Throw what you have stolen into my courtyard.
He means throw this item into my courtyard. He doesn't know that it's stolen.
Okay.
So, and Kiman, to Rabbi Kiva, Sha'omar Kluta, once it hits the airspace of the Chotzer, Kimishahun Chodami, it's as if you draw it down to the full floor regarding Shabbos. That means it doesn't have to land. Even once it's in the airspace, he's already chayiv. The guy who throw it from transfer reshus to reshus. And therefore, that's why you're potter from Dalit v'chamisha. The Ikar Rabbanon don't hold of kluta. It's got to land on the ground. Even the matir l'chatzer beso. That's when he's kona. But Linyan Shabbos lo machai v'adei matir la'ara. Or Chachamim will hold regarding the Geneva, it's hit the airspace. So the guy acquires it then, but l'Shabbos lo machai v'adei matir la'ara. He doesn't hold of kluta like Rabbi Kiva, the Chachamim. So the Geneva and the Shchilo Shabbos happens at two different times. You should be chayiv. So ba'oimer lo tikni lecha gnevusecha ad shetanuach. They made a stipulation that I'm not going to transfer what you want to buy from me, or the mechira will not be affected until it lands on the ground. So it does occur at the same time. That's what's its putter. Rav Amar lo oilam kirami bar Chama. And we're talking about something else. She'etnan asra Torah. If you go to a prostitute and instead of paying her money for her services, you give her an animal, that animal cannot be used for a korban. Va'afilu in bo'alimo, let's say the prostitute was the person's mother. Now he's chayiv misa for living with his mother. Itovale kamon bedina. And if the guy had not paid for the services and the mother takes him to court, mi amrina leikim havle, do we tell the guy pay up? Esayesnon? He's chayiv with his life with that relation. He's going to be potter. Even though Bezin doesn't tell him to pay, but if this animal was given over to the zona, it becomes usher as an esnan. Achanami, af agav, even we don't force him to pay in court, even to kamakni lebachi, the services were paid with this. Avi mechira, it's still considered mechira to make him pay dal v'chamisha. Okay, ayin aleph. Mario, are we going to continue?
Yeah, no. Continue.
Okay. Walter on 71, ayin aleph on the top. Ganav v'tovach b'yom kippur. The Mishnah said that if a ganav steals and shechs on Yom Kippur, you still have to pay dalit v'chamisha. Amri amai. Nihidik tolaleka. There is no death penalty that you shechted on Yom Kippur, but malchus mia ikka. But there is malchus for kaimelon she'ena loiker mishalim. We also have a principle.
Ernie, but if Yom Kippur falls on Shabbos, he is.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, but we're not talking about
Okay.
it.
Okay.
We're talking about Yom Kippur's on Wednesday.
Yeah. I understand.
So you get kares, but not misa. But you also get malchus. And there is a principle, she'ena loke mishalim. If a person does an aveira, which causes financial loss to somebody, and the aveira's punishment is malchus, you don't pay. You get malchus, but you don't pay the money. So why here, in our Mishnah, did it say that the guy pays dal ve'ei? Amri Hamani Rav Meir. Sha'omar loikir mishalim. Rav Meir holds you get your malchus and you have to pay. So Rav Meir, afilu tovach b'Shabbos. So why didn't the Mishnah talk about a case that he shechted on Shabbos? So because maybe v'chitei meloika mishalem islay. Rav Meir approves of getting malchus and paying, but meisu mishab leslay. But he does not agree that if a person undergoes capital punishment, he has to pay. He doesn't agree with that, frankly, more of a law of Atanya. Gana v'tovach b'Shabbos. Gana v'tovach lavadazor, gana v'shara niskol. Utvacho b'shram arba v'chamisha, Rav Meir. V'chacham poitrin. So you see Rav Meir holds gana v'tovach b'Shabbos, even though he's chayiv misa, he still has to pay. Amri bar minei de'ahi. You have to exclude this baraisa. Da itmar Allah, it was learned. Rav Yaakov, Rav Yechel, Rav Milam, Rav Yirmiyam, Rav Shimon ben Lakish, Rav Avin, Rav Alav, Chol Chavrusa, B'Shmei Rav Yechel and Amri. B'tovech ha'idei acher. The Ganef himself didn't shecht on Shabbos. He appointed the shaliach to do it. So the Ganef wasn't Meschayv Misa, that's why he has to pay. So the Gemara says what? I don't get it. This guy shechts and this guy has to pay up? So the Gemara says, yeah. When it comes to being a Ganef and doing Tvicho Mechira, it works for a shaliach as well, and you'd have to pay. Shani Yacha Shamakra Utvacho o Mecharo. So there's a hekesh between shchita and selling. Ma mechira yedei acher. Selling requires a second person. You can't sell something to yourself. So avtvicha is also will be chayiv al yedei acher. That even if a shaliach shechts on your behalf, you would have to pay. The Bei Rabbi Shmuel Tana. It says utvacho o mecharo o l'rabo says a shaliach. That the Daled Vehei payment includes a shaliach because of the O. The Vechizkiya Tana, it says Chamisha Bakar Yeshalem Tachas Ashor. The rabbi says a shaliach. The Tachas comes to include a shaliach. Maskif lo marzutra. Miyikimidi dilu ovid iyu lo machayiv. And ovid shaliach machayiv. I don't understand. Is there an example of something that if the index person himself did something, he's putter? So, for example, he violated Shabbos by shechting. In that case, he's putter from pay. And ovid shaliach u'mechayiv, but he appoints a shaliach and then he's going to be chayiv to pay? How could the shaliach have a koach greater than him? Amar Rashi Hasam Lav Mishum Shalom Chayiv. When you say that you have these two things, you shechted and you're chayiv Shabbos, it's not like one of them goes away. You really did both of them, and he should be chayiv. Ela de kam lei b'derabamine. The principle is, it's enough with the greater punishment. Since he's going to be put to death, you don't punish him twice. But the Zaveirs are there. So the Shaliach is like him. So now, if it's true that we explain that Baraisa, where we say there's a chiyuv, it's because a Shaliach did it. My time in Rabbanan de Patri. The Rabbanan who argue with Rav Meir, they say he's potter. So if it's a shaliach who shechted it, the guy should be chayiv as well. Amri man chachamim Rab Shimon. She'amar shchita she'en ruya lo shmei shchita. It's for a different reason. The reason why the chachamim here, who's Rab Shimon potters, is because it's a shechita that you can't eat from. So you don't have to pay Bava Kama Daf for the shechita. And why can't you eat from it? because you shechted it on Shabbos. So hold on. So I understand Bishlama, you shechted Lavodah Zara. So something that you shecht on behalf of Lavodah Zara is Asr Bana. Can't eat it. Or it's a Shor Niska. This shore has gored 3 times, and Bezdin Paskind that has to be killed. If you shecht such an animal, you can't eat it. It's Asr Bana. Shchita Shena Ra'uya. And so since you don't fulfill the shchita, you don't pay dal ve'eh. Ela b'Shabbos, what's wrong with shchita? Shchita Ra'uya. Fine. The guy's going to be killed because he did an avodah on Shabbos. But the meat is kosher. It's not. Hashoichit b'Shabbos of Yom Kippur. If you shecht on Shabbos Yom Kippur, avu pishim is chai b'nafsho, shchitaso k'sheira. The food, the meat is kosher. Amri Savar Rav Yochanan Sandler. So this Brisa has to hold like Rav Yochanan Sandler, who disagrees with the Mishnah we just brought, and says that if you shecht on Shabbos, you can't eat it. So shchita on Shabbos is a shchita she'ena ruya, and therefore that's why there's no dal be'eh. Where do we see the shita of Rav Yochanan Sandler? This not a vashel b'Shabbos. Classic case. Somebody cooks on Shabbos. Now, if he did it b'shogeg, he didn't know that today was Shabbos, or he didn't know that it's prohibited to cook. Yoichal, you can eat it. Now, if he knew that it's osr, but he did it b'mezid, lo yoichal, you can't eat it. Divrei Rab Meir. Rav Yehuda b'shoigeg yoichal b'motzei Shabbos. Rav Yehuda says, even if you do it b'shoigeg, you can't eat it on Shabbos, but you can eat it motzei Shabbos. But b'mezid, if you cooked something on Shabbos and you knew that was prohibited to cook, lo yoichal oilamis, you may never eat from this. You, the guy who cooked, but other people can eat it. Rav Yochanan Sandler oimer b'shoigeg yoichal l'motzei Shabbos lacheri. Rav Yochanan Sandler is the most machmir. He says the person who cooked the item, even if he did it b'shogeg, he may never eat the item, no matter what. Shogeg mezid, no matter what. But motzei Shabbos, other people can eat it. B'mezid lo yochal oilamis lo lov lo lacheri. According to Rav Yochanan Sandler, somebody who cooks b'mezid on Shabbos, that item becomes like treif. Nobody can eat it. So now we understand the Baraisas, according to Rav Yochanan Sandler, where he shechted on Shabbos, and therefore it's a shchita she'ena ruya, and therefore it's not a shchita. That's why you porter for dal ve'eh. Now, where did Rav Yochanan Sandler get this? My time, Rav Yochanan Sandler. Kidosh Rav Chia Pitchud ben Yisrael. Ushmartem es Shabbos ki kodesh ulachem. So there's a connection between Shabbos and Hegdish. Ma kodesh osur b'achil. You're not allowed to eat Hegdish. Af ma'aser Shabbos asur in b'achil. So if it's made on Shabbos, you can't eat. Why don't we go further? Ma kodesh osur b'ano af ma'aser Shabbos osur b'ano. Rav Yochanan Sandler didn't say that what is cooked on Shabbos is osur b'ano. He only said you can't eat it. You can sell it. But if you're going to make the Hegdish is not only osur b'achil, it's osur b'ano. So why shouldn't ma'aser Shabbos also be osur b'ano? Talmud Omer lachem, because it says ki kodesh hu lachem, shalachem yehei. Even though you can't eat it, it belongs to you, and you can do whatever you want with it. Yachol afilu b'shogeg. I might think if you shechted it b'shogeg, or you cooked on shogeg, yachol afilu b'shogeg. Talmud Omer machalem mos you must. B'mezid omer lochav v'lo b'shogeg. Only b'mezid. Fligi baravacha ravina. Chad omer ma'aser Shabbos. The fact that what you make on Shabbos is osur is doraisa. The chad omer ma'aser Shabbos is drabon. Mandam doraisa kedamora. Like we learned. Umandar Madrabonon, Omer Kral Kodesh Hulachem, Hu Kodesh Vein Maisav Kodesh. Only the Hegdishes and not the Maisa Shabbos. Ishmalandom Doraisa Tulachi Patrabona. I understand why the Chachamim patri you from Arba B'Chamisha if you stole and shechted on Shabbos, because the fact that Shechita Shabbos is Eina Ru'uya, it's Midoraisa. Elamadam Rabbanon, my patri Rabbanon. But if the issue of Shechita on Shabbos is only a rabbinic prohibition, how could the Chachamim patri from Dal V'Chamisha? So Ashara, Lavadazar, and Shanisko. It's not going. There were three cases: Shechita Shabbos, Shechita Lavadazar, Shanisko. It's only going on the Avodah case, Shanisko case, because they are Asr Bano Minato. Rav Meir, who said that the Shechita is considered a Shechita, Amay Mechayv V'Shech Lavadazar. Why are you chayiv dal v'chamisha? Kivin sheshachad bapurta. Once you cut through the skin of an animal, avodah zarah asra bano. It's asra bano. If you, as you complete the shechita, you're cutting something that's isra no. Lo damari kotovak. It doesn't belong to the owner. Something that's asra bano, the guy loses ownership of it. V'lav didei kotovak. Why should you pay dal v'hei? Amar Rava bo'omer b'gmar zvicha hu'ayvda. Where he made it nice, I'm not worshiping the Avodah Zarah until the end of the Shechita. So the Gemara still asks, Shoranisko Lisuri Anonim. You can't have enough from Shoranisko. And therefore, Lav Demor Katovek, Lav Didei Katovek. He's not shechting anything that belongs to anybody. Why should you pay Dalvei? I'm a Rava. All of this occurred. The original owner of the ox gave it to a watchman. The Hizik Shomer. And the shore became a gourd while it was in the house of the Shomer. The Hua de Shomer did it 3 times. The Nigmar Dino Bebe Shomer. And the Bezdin did it. And the Ganav stole from the Shomer. Him he has to pay Dalvei, not to the original owner. Rav Meir's suffered like Rav Yaakov, the suffered law Rav Shimon. So like Rav Yaakov, Av Mishim Migmar Dino. That even though there's a Gmar Din on the ox that killed, if the Bailim brought the corpse, or no, even before they kill the animal, if the Shomer brings back the ox, Musar, he doesn't have to pay another ox. It's considered like he brought it back. Even though the short is lacking, is an Isser Bana, it doesn't have any worth. Because it's a nezek that causes otherwise him to have come up with other money. Because the Surah Rav Shimon Shemar Dover Agorm Lamaman Kemaman. If you cause somebody to come up with money, it's considered like money, even though it's a grama. Meaning, as long as he can give back the shore, and he didn't have to lose money. And where do we see Reb Shimon's shita? This nan. Reb Shimon Omer Kotshim Shechayv Bach Riyusim. A korban that you'd have to replace if it got lost. Chayiv, you have to, if somebody stole, you'd have to pay kefil. Even though Hegdish doesn't belong to Bailim, the guy was Magish would have to come up with money if it got lost. Alma davar garn lamaman kamaman dami. Even a gram of mammon is considered mammon. Or Rav Kahana. Amrisa l'shmaitza kamed Rav Zvid minardo. Imotis mukmis masis and Rav Meir v'lok Rav Shimon. Can you set up our mission like Rav Meir and not like Rav Shimon? Vaktani seifa. Rav Shimon poiter b'shnei elu. Rav Shimon potters, at least in the case of Avodah Zarah and Shor Niskal, Michlad b'kulamas nisan moidel. Must be he's moide even in the case of Shabbos. Amalei lo, Just like Rav Shimon admits, if you shechted, somebody needed the gallbladder of the animal for a refuah, or you have to feed your dogs. Even though a human being doesn't eat it, it's still a shchita re'uya. So, and therefore, it wouldn't fall under that category of shchita sheina re'uya, where you'd be potter from dal vehi. Ganav mishalavi v'tovach u'mocha. You stole from your father, then you shechted it, and the father died, and he is one of the sons with his brothers inherit. He still has to pay dal vehi. Boy me Rav Nachman. Ganav sheshnei shutaf utvach. He stole a shore of partners and he shechted. It was moide lachad man. He confessed to one of them. Ma'u. Do we say chamisha baka amrachman v'lo chamisha chatzoi baka? Somebody who's moide is pater biknas. So maybe the Torah wrote you got to pay 5 full cows, not half cows. Odam chamisha baka amrachman v'lo chamisha chatzoi baka. Arm chamisha baka amrachman v'lo chamisha chatzoi baka. You'd be pater. So esvei. So based on that halacha, we asked from our Mishnah, he stole from his father and shechted. He's one of the brothers. Kivin shemeis aviv, he inherits. It's dummy. It's no different than if he had confessed to one of his brothers. Uketani, how could you say the Torah says you have to pay 5 full and not half? Before the father died, Bezdin said you have to pay dal vehi. So avalim lo amad bedin mai. If that's the case, Yachi Adatani Sefer, why wait for the Sefer and say that he stole and then the father died and then he shechted? Niflog b'didei. Start already from the beginning. When do we say you're chayiv? Because it was bezdin. Avaloma b'din ein mishal tashim arba v'chamisha. Omer lei hachanami. It's like you said. I didn't know Reisha. Since the Reisha started off by saying Ganam mishal aviv, you stole from the father. V'tovach u'malchav ha'kachmeis aviv. Nasiv save nami. Stylistically, editorially, the end of the Mishnah has to say the same thing. The opposite case, you wouldn't pay. But Litzaf in the morning, the next day, Rav Nachman changed his mind. Even if you have to pay only a half, like if you stole from 2 partners and you admitted to one, you'd still have to pay. Okay.
What time tomorrow?
Tomorrow night, 7:30.
We have a dinner in the evening in Yagilva for the Shloshim for everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So let's do